welcome. I'm Brossard, and here's what happened this week. On Wednesday, Chinese President Xi Jinping and U.S. President Joe Biden held a rare meeting on the sidelines of the APEC Leaders Summit in San Francisco. Joyce Sung was in the city to give us this report.
After much anticipation, U.S. President Joe Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping's rare in-person meeting has ended, with Xi warning his American counterpart that the biggest, most dangerous issue in their relationship is Taiwan. The two met for 4 hours in a secluded Northern California estate on the sidelines of the APEC summit, happening this week in San Francisco. The clearest win from that is the agreement to resume military-to-military communications, which Beijing ceased after then U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taiwan last summer. Taiwan has long been a contentious topic for the two superpowers, as Beijing claims the self-ruled nation as its own and previously threatening to take it by force. Biden, though, has said that Washington maintains the One China policy, which recognizes China's government over Taiwan's. But the thing is, Washington does keep robust unofficial ties with Taipei, spanning from weapons sales to sharing similar democratic values. And now the question is whether Xi's warning will cause Biden to water down these ties. And this comes at a pivotal time for Taiwan as it prepares to head to the polls in less than 2 months to pick its next president, an electoral process that Biden has asked Xi to respect. Justin Wu and Joyce Sun in San Francisco for TaiwanPlus.
Former political activist Huang Guochang has quit the New Power Party, which he helped found. He's now cast his lot in with another young party, the Taiwan People's Party. As John Van Trieste reports, it's a political about-face that could shake up the legislature.
A political bombshell less than 2 months from a crucial election. This prominent figure in Taiwan's progressive circles has made a dramatic break with much of what he stood for. Huang Guochang rose to national prominence in 2014 alongside the student activists protesting a trade pact with China. China claims Taiwan and has even said it will use military force to take it. Worried about Taiwan's sovereignty, students took over the legislature. Their 3-week sit-in saw the deal called off. Buoyed by this success, Huang helped found the New Power Party, a new youthful force in politics. For a time, it looked set to take on Taiwan's two-party system, pushing the country towards the left and towards independence. Huang served as one of the party's early lawmakers. A decade on, though, that adrenaline has long since worn off. The party has lost key members and today has just 3 legislative seats. Frustrated by the two main parties' continued hold on the country, Huang's jumping back into the political fray. But this time, he's going for the latest hot name in third-party politics.
我希望柯文哲当选总统，履行竞选承诺，筹组一个用人为才、跨越党派的联合政府。
Polls show Ko Wen-je's Taiwan People's Party has a shot at winning, especially if they rally the rest of the opposition. But this is a very different third party. It's centrist, populist, and far less suspicious of China. In a leaked policy paper, the parties even floated the idea of reviving the very trade deal Huang and his student friends fought to defeat. In a joint interview, Ke said he's proud to have Huang on board.
邀请他来当这个我们不分区立委，我们要争取黄国昌，
争取黄国昌
参加我们民众党，委以重用。
Reeling from the news, the New Power Party held a defiant press conference.
的确跟黄国昌前主席的理念完全不同了，所以也只能祝福他。那同时也谢谢他的离开。我想他的离开让时代力量变成一个更愿意倾听、更有同理心，也更能够坚定地走在本土进步价值路线的政党。
The defection of a single politician may not change the course of the election, but it's a major blow to a party that's still trying to change Taiwan's political landscape. And it shows that even with the election so close, there's always room for another surprise. Andy Xue and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
The ruling DPP has revealed its list of at-large legislative candidates for January's election. Topping the list is Lin Yueqin, the head of a child protection NGO, followed by Puma Shen, who chairs the Doublethink Lab and is known for his work on China's information warfare. Incumbent Legislative Speaker Yo Shi-kun is on the list too. Taiwan citizens will vote for lawmakers alongside the president in January. Aside from their local representative, voters also cast ballots for political parties, which get seats based on the number of votes received. Those seats are given to candidates on the at-large list. Billionaire Foxconn founder Terry Guo has qualified for Taiwan's presidential election in January. That's the news from the country's Central Election Commission. Guo announced an independent presidential run at the end of August. He needed close to 300,000 signatures to get his name on the ballot. That's because he was not backed by a major political party. Guo's campaign said it submitted around 1 million signatures. The Election Commission said around 87%, or some 900,000 of those signatures, were valid. Taiwan tech giant Foxconn has launched its first satellites into space. Foxconn sent up 2 low Earth orbit satellites on a Falcon 9 rocket, part of the SpaceX Transporter 9 mission. The Pearl 1H and Pearl 1C satellites will test the company's beyond 5G capabilities. That technology is aimed at making digital communication faster. Over 100 satellites were sent into orbit on the Falcon 9 rocket, which took off from Southern California. Meanwhile, Foxconn says it saw record earnings in the last few months. The company reported $1.3 billion in after-tax profit between July and September, the highest ever for the period. That's up 30% compared to the previous quarter and up 10% from the year before. The results were largely driven by better-than-expected demand in consumer electronics. The earnings report was in line with analyst expectations. National Taiwan University is launching a new international semiconductor program. The university's president, Chuan says the program will start next year and will recruit 50 to 60 foreign students. The plan aims to cultivate international semiconductor talent amid the growing geopolitical importance of chips. Migrant workers in Taiwan say private agents leave them vulnerable to exploitation. Tiffany Wong reports on how they're fighting for greater protection.
Outside Taiwan's labor ministry, migrant workers and labor rights activists are protesting the employment broker system. They say it leaves migrant workers vulnerable and that it can hurt employers, too. Activists say in one recent case, brokers withheld documentation from a worker who switched jobs because they wanted to continue collecting fees from her. The agency then reported the worker missing, essentially blackmailing her new employer.
因为需求它的急迫性，所以他强迫了雇主签下了卖身契，他甚至向雇主勒索了赎身费。
Many employers in Taiwan prefer to hire migrant workers through private agents who can vet them. And for migrant workers, these intermediaries make job information more accessible in their own languages. But agents do not always follow legal procedures when workers change jobs or employers. And they often charge exorbitant fees for their services. This can all spell big trouble for migrant workers. The Labor Ministry says those who violate labor laws will be punished.
中介有违反劳工意识，留置他的文件到离公司联，这些违规情会交请地方政府去查处。不实申报的部分，最重可以罚150万的罚款，同时可以停业1年。
There are over 700,000 migrant workers in Taiwan who perform essential work in factories, fisheries, and healthcare. Activists have made repeated calls for their fair treatment. 8 agents have been fined for illegal activities so far this year. Dolphine Chen and Tiffany Wong for TaiwanPlus.
Chinese fishing boats sailing too close to Taiwan's outlying islands are being seized and sold at auction. Reese Ayers has more.
A Chinese fishing boat, caught on video by the Taiwanese Coast Guard, illegally fishing off the coast of Taiwan's outlying islands.
登检查获一艘遮蔽船舶编号，并且正在下网作业的闽全台渔船，在完成调查后，函送海巡署舰队分署裁罚。
The boat's 6 crew members were arrested and have been slapped with fines over $18,000. Over the last few months, hundreds of Chinese fishing vessels have been expelled from the waters around Taiwan, with 14 being detained between August and October. Many such incursions happen around Taiwan's outlying islands. The Matsu archipelago lies about 15 kilometers from China's mainland, and the island of Jinmen just 10 kilometers, where the most recent incident took place. Detained vessels face large fines from the Taiwanese authorities, and their crews can end up doing time in prison. The Coast Guard have also taken to auctioning off seized boats.
在马祖当地也引起了大家的讨论。南竿乡的村长他就是说，他要用公告的这个底价来买。
Despite the fines and arrests, many Chinese fishing boats continue operating in Taiwanese waters, prompting the authorities to consider how effective their current deterrents are. Patrick Chen and Reese Ayres for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's baseball season has ended, with the Chuan Dragons crowned the champions of the 2023 Taiwan Series. As Leslie Liao reports, the victory marks an impressive comeback for a team that just rejoined the league 3 years ago.
这球打高，有没有守备的机会？捕手来到了接近这边接杀，出局，彩带抛下来。
The last time the Chuan Dragons were crowned champions in Taiwan's professional baseball league was 1999. Shortly after that win, the team suddenly disbanded and left the league for 2 decades. The Dragons then returned in 2020 and 3 years later have clinched the 2023 season title and won it all again. For a team to come out on top after just 3 years is no easy feat. But the Dragons did just that, beating the Rakuten Monkeys in 7 games to take home the crown in the Taiwan Series.
总冠军是要4胜才有总冠军，然后我们队友互相鼓励，然后相信每一天都是新的一天，不到4胜我们都不会放弃。
It was a particularly inspiring win for the Dragons head coach Ye Junzang, who made his professional baseball debut as a player with the team back in 1996.
我是有时候真的是还蛮不客气的，因为就是希望说我也有时候也不希望说太拐弯抹角，因为也没什么意义。真的谢谢他们，就是忍受，然后大家一起努力，这样子一起走到这里。
And for old school fans of the Dragons, it's a moment 2 decades in the making. Tears were shed, cheers were hollered, and a good time was had by all. That is unless you're a Monkeys fan. Devin Tsai and Leslie Liao for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan's A-list stars will hit the red carpet next weekend for the 60th Golden Horse Awards. To mark the event, organizers have created an interactive exhibit that gives people the chance to step out of the limelight and into the past. Bryn Thomas has the story.
60 years of cinema history. The Best of a Golden Horse exhibition in Taipei gives cinephiles a chance to jump into the history of Chinese-language films. The interactive exhibit was set up to mark the 60th anniversary of the Golden Horse Awards and spans the event's most famous moments.
记录下之前所有59年以来所有的不管是入围者、得奖者，他们能够达到最高的高度。
The exhibit offers an interactive glimpse into Taiwan cinema history. QR codes around the venue link to clips covering everything from facts about individual trophies to stories about Taiwan's film legends. And fans are flocking to peek behind the curtain to see the personal stories of some of Taiwan's most public people.
介绍各个每一届的得奖的奖项的得主，然后让我们能认识他们的故事。
是得奖的那一刻，就是大家会发表就是不一样的言论，然后可以感受出来大家就是对那个表演就是其实都很有热忱。
Although completing the exhibition is an award in itself, taking photos of enough QR codes can earn visitors a piece of history. A 60th Golden Horse collectible coin. Dolphin Chen and Bryn Thomas for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching. Here's what happened. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, check out these dogs in kimonos. They are receiving blessings during Japan's Shichiko-san festival. Normally meant for kids, but this ceremony is just for pups. I'm Brossard. Take care, and we'll see you next week.